So welcome to another episode of Tech Talk on a Tuesday. Some kind of talk on a Tuesday. It doesn't really matter. It's Tuesday, and that
I'm
means,
here to
Corey.
talk tech.
Yeah, well, we're okay with that. But we have this thing that we need to do before any talk gets happening, especially the tech talk. We need to do this thing right here.
Welcome to Tech Talk on a Tuesday, where Corey and Jimmy talk to smart people about tech that is way above their head, but intensely informative, super fun. Sooner or later, somebody's going to make an inappropriate joke. We're definitely going to give away a bunch of NFTs. And quite frankly, we're just going to learn a whole ton. If you have any ideas about who we should have on Tech Talk on a Tuesday, please let us know by adding us in the comments or just finding us. Just stalk us down. It's fine. Just talk to us. Tech Talk on a Tuesday.
I mean, most of that's true. ESIO Weekly isn't really true anymore, but hey, what the hell? May as well do it anyway. So Douglas Butner of cXc.world, you and I first met a couple of weeks ago, actually, on another live stream that we did for a crypto writer, because you were actually part of the Metaverse Music Fest that happened that we kind of co-organized together with Dot Gems, and you guys were there, and Emanate was there, and a bunch of kind of projects from the space. So it's really good to have you here, for the exclusive. I'm not sure if you and Corey have ever met or not yet.
We talked. We had a great chat about just intro on BLUX and on cXc.world and stuff, and I'm a fan, which is why I was like, I was really excited he was coming back on again, because everybody needs to learn about what you're doing, because it's kind of epic, frankly.
Thank you.
Yeah. So what are you doing?
All right. So let's follow up on that. So me and Corey talked. The talk is on YouTube, and one thing Corey said was like, "Yo, dude, when are NFTs getting on the site? Like, you can just." That. Yeah, you said that, and I took it very seriously because you're like, you had a great point. You're like, okay, you just need to take the template ID and save that. I'm like, okay, well, I can add that. That's no problem. So
for context for people, like, and we'll bring it on the site. You'll be able to see it, right? It's a big, huge map. You can kind of add tracks in. It's like YouTube tracks or Spotify, if I'm not mistaken, to different areas, right? And kind of give a geolocational context to songs that you put out or whatever, right? It's just like, and anyone can add it. So like, I can go in there and I can like get a YouTube of one of my tunes or whatever, and I can throw it up there. And like, we're all making these music NFTs, and like, they just have templates. Like, could we just do that? And he's like, hold my fucking beer. That's a small translation, but generally speaking, and it would appear that we're hopefully pretty close to that already.
We're here, and it's live, like right now. Like, honestly, like 10 minutes before this call, like I went to check if it was working, and it wasn't, like, because I finished putting it up like late last night, and like something wasn't working. I was like, oh shit, like, and I got it to work, so we can go check it out. And yeah, like, I'm gonna tell people when we get to that place like what to do. But it's super easy to add your music NFTs, and we have like sort of shaped the feature to specifically be targeted at getting you sales for your cheapest secondary market NFT sale that's currently going on. And the reason we want to do that is number one, it raises the floor of your NFT. And number two, it's going to offer some like market opportunities for people who purchase the direct sale from, like we do. Kate does theirs, we do ours, like on Nifty Blocks. So it'll incentivize people to both buy their own NFT and sell it on the secondary, as well as anybody else who wants to get in on that, buying and selling on the secondary to make a little bit of money. Because we're focused on selling those secondary sales. So that'll make more sense when we pull it up.
So a couple of questions from the audience. Daniel's asking, can anyone add a song on there? And Digital Asset, he's throwing his weight around by saying like add spliffy albums, please, right? Like he did a collaboration with these NFTs and Yoshi drops as well, that were upgradable and things like that. So tell us about the mechanics. Is it just one NFT? Is it a music NFT? Can the NFTs have motions? Can they have GIFs? Can anyone own them? What's the breakdown there?
Sure. So first of all, whenever you post the music, we do normally before this, you have to have either a YouTube, a Spotify, or a SoundCloud. You still do need to have at least one of those players to have the NFT as well, because we're kind of set up to work with those. So I didn't want to you can't just post a music NFT. You're going to have one of those other links. And currently, the way that we wrote beta is that you need to have your YouTube account linked to your Wax account whenever you log in, and then we pay the YouTube account. Although now with this model, there may be a way to pay the collection holder, but that's not always the right thing to do in most cases, because for instance, we have we have multiple artists. I am from, your guys's front is also doing the same thing. So yeah, I just wanted to say that it's really important if you do have a YouTube link to put it up so that we can pay you BLUX eventually. But yeah, to answer your question, all you need is the template ID. And then whenever you add the music, you have to be sure to click Format NFT. And that's going to make sure that whenever somebody clicks the Format NFT, they can see everybody's NFTs on the map at the same time.
Now, why those ones? Why those ones specifically? And could you add more? Right? Like could you add Emanate? Could you add Yoshi drops, for example, to that list? Where if the videos are showing up on the artist page on those platforms, is it possible to then buckle them into cXc.world?
Well, anybody can post, so any collection is welcome. It's not just our NFT collection. Anybody can post. But whenever you do have to manually go through and post each individual song or album on the map, that's just kind of how it works. So anybody who has a music NFT, you can make sure you zoom into the location recorded, double click, you'll see like a plus music icon, and then you click the plus music icon to confirm the location, and then it'll pop up the dialog that allows you to paste that information in.
Okay, that's kind of cool. So you lost me then, because you said that they had to have a YouTube account or a couple other different variations accounts. So how does that tie in? That doesn't tie into the actual video. That ties into becoming a member of the site. Sorry, I kind of lost that.
Okay, I got you. So there's an important distinction. Like right now we're in alpha. We're actually in gold version, which is like the third version of alpha. But right now you do not have to log in or anything else to post music on the website. All you have to do is just zoom in and double click. In beta, you do have to log in, and that's the only other hurdle is you just log in with your Wax account, and then you can post it up. So if you want to like bring up the site, I can show you it.
Sure. Yeah, we can do that.
Yeah, you can share your screen too.
Oh, really? Okay. Let me see if I can do that. All right. Okay.
Oh, there we go.
All right. Oops.
Hope that was
I know. There's an error. So just like for some reason the Web3 player doesn't like work, and I just get an error every time. So that's not even my error. So yeah,
I just didn't want to give away like all your top secret spy information and stuff.
No. So okay. So let's go back to the regular map. Whenever you load cXc.world, you get like a bunch of music. And if this is your first time, this is music.cxc.world. And all of these dots of music are color coded by genre. And yeah, you can just click any one of them and they'll pop up the music with the players. And then if you like the music, you can upvote this track. And right now this is just Web 2.0, but we keep everything in the database, and we will pay people BLUX as soon as we go to beta for these ups and alpha, as well as in beta, this will transition to being SOL ups on the Wax blockchain. So back to the new functionality. If you want to see the NFTs on the map, just go to Format NFT. And like, this is just like brand new. So there's just these two I added this morning. But yeah, it's just completely integrated with the map. So there's nothing special about being an NFT. It's just another format. But whenever you have an NFT, you get this down here. And this is like straight from the IPFS image. And then we have information targeted at getting you these secondary market sales, right? So the link always will take you to the best priced sale. If you click the image too as well, it's all one big link. And so it'll tell you the secondary sales, the average cost of those sales, and the best price. So yeah, like,
that's awesome, dude. It's like, I thought like, hey, just make the show up. No. Like, we could do better than that.
Corey, go now. I want to see an NFT. What, like, you've got music NFTs. Where can I find them on that map? Like
I haven't done that yet. And also, like, the only real, so we've got, I guess we gotta list the series one, the I'm Not the Bubble ones up there.
Yeah, the I'm Not the Bubble. My Bitcoin Bull should be up there.
Like,
there's
should
a
we
couple
do that
that Taylor
in Miami?
Alexander have done. Like,
right? Yeah, there's
a
tons.
bunch of different stuff.
I'm gonna be releasing a bunch more Yoshi dailies too. I got so much music to give to people.
So you can format this via NFT. I'm guessing that on the previous page before you went here, all of those color coded things, you can search by genre, all those things as well. So this is just basically, a massive kind of platform to enable you to find what you're looking for, or find something, according to the genre that you might be interested in. Now, I noticed that the NFT that popped up, it went to Wax. Now, I'm assuming that any marketplace that houses music on any blockchain is able to be posted here, or is it only a certain number for now? Is it Wax and some other?
Right now we're just Wax, and like, I built this to just work with the Atomic Hub on Wax. Okay. Now the players are like kind of modular, so like we can just add in as many players as we want. I'm gonna put I almost said GarageBand, Bandcamp up here very soon, because I think it's really important for artists. So yeah, everything is Wax, and everything will just link you to Atomic Hub. Like I said, we built this feature like sort of around the theory that secondary market sales are good, and that by selling the lowest one will help to raise the floor. So we're doing a very specific use case, very specific for music NFTs on Wax blockchain, but that could expand later.
Yeah, I agree. Metaverse NFT music map, I like it. But yeah, I mean, this is really cool. Right? I don't know what that looks like, but it's definitely interesting. Like, if you could, we're in the space now where like so many things are possible with this, right? Like, and I like the idea of actually linking it to the secondary market and trying to raise the floor, right? Can you watch the whole NFT on that map, or is it just a preview?
It's just a click to the next thing. Well, we bring in your image. So like, if it's a GIF, it'll play the GIF. But like, because we have the other players there, I was like, yeah, we could like look for an audio field or a video field and import that. But then you have like more loading, because you're gonna have to pull in that whole video. Whereas when you do it with these centralized players, which are already required to have a centralized player. So it's just like, it seemed better to me just to like listen to it on the secondary player, which is usually faster and, smoother, and then go ahead and buy it on Wax. And yeah, click that link and you hop over.
Like, this is great. I mean, I technically, once you get the bugs worked out, you could do this with art too. You could do this with any NFT, really. I mean, you could do this with any NFT that exists, I don't know, say in a metaverse of people that like you might happen to know. Like, this is pretty cool. Like, I don't know how the hell you coded it or how long it took, but like, yeah, just to put this whole thing together, like, tell us the story, tell us the journey, and like where you started and how long did it take you to just get what you have beyond, you know, the little additions that you're working on now.
Sure. So this is like something that's been a part of my life for a very long time. The first time I like ever smoked weed, I was like 14 years old, and it was like maybe the second time. But I just like got so excited for web development because I was starting to program and stuff. And I saw like the world, and all over the world was like these little like boxes of content. And they were all like were starting to be linked by these like streams of light. And like each box had like information and stuff like that. So that was like my first inspiring vision of like connecting people and connecting information in a new way. Fast forward to, well, actually, let's go back. So I started programming when I was like 15. And the very first thing I programmed was something with something called AutoIt. And it's like a sort of a scripting language. And I built like a bot to play online poker. So like that was my first foray into programming. Then when I was 16, I built a social networking site called myhs.us. And I took a database that I got from the government of all the schools, and I made like a customized sort of social media for each school. Then I built, when I was like 18, I built the world's first single page forum site using Ajax and jQuery. So that's sort of my like tech background. I got really into programming, into databases, organizing data, and jQuery. So yeah, that was my start. And then, you know, I kind of took a step back, was running WordPress sites and was rapping. Like I was a pretty serious rapper from the age of like 16 into my early 20s. And like I saw all my friends like that were making great music, just not getting any plays and not getting any attention. And I'm like, you know, hey, this is my chance. Like I can make this better. And I had this great vision of like a map where people could like do more dexterity in their licensing. So for example, if I'm releasing music, I have a few options. Like I could go CC0, I could just do, you know, a regular license or whatever, but these licenses aren't very flexible and they don't have a geographical element to them. So the original vision of the site was to allow people to say, hey, I'm going to offer either for free or for some amount of money, X and Y permissions in this area for this time period, right? And alongside that, I created the first version of our curation system, and that was just supposed to help people decide, like, oh, what music is worth licensing. So I told this sort of grand idea to my friend, or he's my cousin's husband, who's like big in the tech industry. And he's like, okay, you know, this is all great, but it's way too complicated. Like you need a minimum viable product that you can like show people, right? So I'm like, all right, well, let's think more about this curation system. So over the next few years, like I incorporated this in 2014. So this is around the time period. Over the next few years, I developed this curation system, and I want to talk to you more about that. We'll get to there. That's like the real tech stuff that's driving this. So I created this curation system based upon the idea of abundance and plenty and people being able to choose what is important to them, and then fractally having that grow up so that whenever you get to the top charts in your local area, you have the opportunity to grow to the next level, the county level, the state level, the national level, until you're on top of the world. thereby solving the problem of my friends who are really good musicians not getting much attention. Because, you know, once you build a local buzz, the idea is like you can grow organically to be the next, however big you want to go.
And the great thing about that is any music venue, like in any region over any space, can just plug into that with an API, and they know who should play first and who should play last. I mean, like it's a really good idea, that whole, like, you know, social logging. Like, I'm just thinking about this. Like, you're like, Douglas, can you just get your heads out of the clouds for once? I mean, stop being out there. You're out there smoking weed. Come on. Like, when you're wasting your life away, like, just get your head back down into the books. Like, you're just going to squander your life away. We're going to find you 20 years from now laying on the side of the road crying for your mother in the fetal position because you just wasted your life. Like, was that your high school? Like, I'm serious. I can just envision,
dude,
like your
I'm
teacher
nowhere near as smart.
this out, right?
I am nowhere near as smart as Douglas, and that was my high school.
Yeah, dude, I got expelled from high school.
Yes,
for smoking weed. So, like, yeah, dude, like, I was kind of a crazy guy, and like, I just like,
wait,
I was
you were a crazy guy. Like, now you're like,
I'm good now. I took ayahuasca in the Amazon. Like, I am healed,
dude.
Like,
dude. Like,
I'm good.
Let's not get too. This is actually dried ayahuasca right there. No big deal.
Oh, nice. Okay. Yeah.
Everyone else is like, what the fuck?
Yeah, no, like, I mean, I have a checkered past. Like, I mean, I wasn't too crazy, but I definitely like was drinking and partying a lot. And I did ayahuasca, and I have not drank alcohol in 4 years. And I've been like, ever since then, I've been just super focused on my goals. And even then, like when I took the ayahuasca, like cXc was still sort of in the limbo, right? And then I came back, and I, after, you know, I was first spent 3 months in Peru, and I came back and I stayed with a friend, and all of his friends were blockchain programmers. And they told me about something called Steemit, right? So that Steemit, we were originally integrated with Steemit, and our first blockchain function was you could take the posts that you see, and you could share them to your Steemit blog with one click, and we would get like an auto formatted post. Yeah, and then so we moved to Hive. I don't know what we were talking about, but yeah.
Yeah, a lot of stuff. It's interesting too. The first time that allegedly I tried ayahuasca, allegedly. But not allegedly. A week later, I quit drinking for a little over a year, and this is when I was, you know, a musician as well, drinking every day. Like that's like I used to joke, like I got paid to drink and I played music for free, right? Nice. And yeah, it can have a really, really, really profound effect. And honestly, like the ways that it cracks open your brain. I mean, I can draw straight lines from a lot of the creativity that's happened this year and that experience 4 years ago. It really, you know, it's a whole thing. Anyway, music and NFTs and fucking A.
Yeah, dude. So I want to go back to what Jimmy said, like about putting art on the map. Our goal after cXc music, once we get the curation system rolled out, we're going to have cXc art, we're going to have cXc video, we're going to have cXc games, possibly. We're going to have cXc news, hopefully some good news. So yeah, like we're hoping to take this sort of algorithm, if it works, to sort of hone it down on music, because I love music, everybody loves music, and then expand from there.
Yeah, I mean, I love it. And I think that's really good. And we live in this world of kind of instant gratification, but also a world where, like, to find anything, we use maps, right? Like most people can't, you know, pass a geography course to save their lives, but we use Google Maps for everything, right? Like if we want to find a restaurant, you know, we either type in the name of the restaurant or the cafe that we want to go to, or we click a little button that shows us where all the restaurants are, and we narrow it down by search. And that's exactly, essentially, what you have for music, local music. And I can just see that being like huge, like in a scene that, you know, there's a few cities around the world that like have massive music scenes or massive club or DJ scenes, right? Like just walking into a region and someday even having an app on your phone or something that you could interact with the smaller area, like what you were talking about, where like different musicians get elevated up through the social ranks. And it's like, okay, I don't know any of these musicians who are playing, but there's like, you know, 8 classical guitarists that are in this area that, you know, I know are going to be playing on a Saturday night, or that I know I want to like listen to, or that I know I want to find and support, right? And it's right there at your fingertips with the cXc app. So I think that's really cool. It's just a brilliant idea. I'd much rather use your app to find good music than like use Google Maps to find like, you know, sports goods clothing stores. I'm just gonna say it, right? I mean, you can't buy sports good clothing on NFTs, not right now anyway. I mean, you can't support local musicians, you can't support local artists, right? Local musicians and local artists can't have an audience, you know, like what you're building. And I think that's just a really nice kind of mix and really goes to, you know, throw in some weight behind the whole decentralized idea of NFTs and creativity too.
Can we talk about this? Could we have a metaverse map?
What?
I said that. That's what I said. Like I said that like 10 minutes ago.
I'm just saying. I wanted to come back to that. I don't know if we discussed
metaverse.
I'm sorry, dude.
Sure, we'll talk about that. I want to get back to another thing in a second, but a metaverse map. Are you thinking like
start with Genesis?
Something you strap on VR goggles and then you see the map?
No.
Or
the map of
Genesis.
The map of Genesis.
There's a whole bunch of art galleries in Genesis, and you could just plug the coordinates in with their NFTs that go right to there.
Well, my music NFTs are going to have a gallery in Genesis, right? That's where a lot of places are starting. So
you could have every artist that's featured in there on one of those maps, and then the map would be a carbon copy of what the metaverse map of Genesis looks like. Like,
I'll fire you a link to Genesis. I don't know. It's probably a lot of work, but it's worth thinking about.
Yeah, we'll see. I'll definitely explore that more. So getting back to like what you were saying, like it's another thing that we don't really think about much is the temporal aspect. So now we have the geographic aspect and you can find people on your map. But what about like all the music that's sort of gained inertia, right? So anytime you want to have like a breakout song, you're not only fighting against the 60,000 new songs on Spotify every day, you're also fighting against the people who have like inertia that are already, you know, at the top of the charts, and you have to fight against them, right? So right now, if you go to cXc.world, all of the counts are since the beginning of the application. So the amount of ups and things like that are since the beginning of cXc. In beta, we have a temporal system that takes a day and breaks it down into 288 time units. And each of these time units, you can generate a top charts for. And that top chart will show only the ups that were given during that time span. Now, obviously 5 minutes probably isn't going to have a lot of activity, so you can manually extend that to any amount of time. And actually, man, if I can show you my screen, I can go ahead and show you some of this stuff.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I like, the digital assets idea. It would be dope to be able to drop a geo pin from any mobile phone when you feel a vibe. Take a photo on the spot, search Atomic, and clink the tag of yourself, and boom, it's contextual. I mean, this totally gives validity to all those weird, crazy people who walk around streets singing tunes. Just to be able to plug it into your phone, create it right there, create an NFT out of it. I mean, imagine, right? Like recently, we've been seeing tons of people at least I have, walking around talking to themselves, like more people than ever before. And like, I used to see a lot of people walking around and talking to themselves, but now like we have earpieces, we live and we breathe in, you know, technology when we're walking around, and just to be able to like throw that up for anything, right? Like, I know that Nasty Hooks would eat up what you guys are talking about as well. You know, Taylor Alexander would as well, because like they were talking about, you know, the inability to, you know, do things, especially in COVID, right? And like you're creating this map of these musicians, and all you would have to do is put a timestamp on it and filter it through that area, and the possibilities of like bringing that technology to the real world and seeing it is amazing, right? And when you walk in there, you know, maybe up on the app, the wax things, the NFTs would pop up. Like it's just mind blowing what the potential of this could bring, I think. Sorry, I'm getting really excited.
For sure.
I don't do that very often, but you're exciting me a lot, Douglas Butner. Very exciting times here with Douglas Butner.
Yeah, and like once we build artist profiles too, like it would be super. So like once we have profiles up, like yeah, you could like if you're gonna do live, you could just like maybe we could add Twitch or something. Like you can just put your Twitch link and then tag where you are or whatever, and then it would automatically link to your NFT collection and things like that. So minimal friction to sort of connect with these other things. That would be super dope.
Corey Cottrell playing live at the beach in Miami, Florida. It goes live on CXC. The first 10 people that walk through the door with the CXC app live automatically get a Corey Cottrell live performance NFT sent directly to their WaxCloud wallet. I mean, it could just blow that. It could just.
I mean, I want to go to there.
Right.
Yeah, another thing we want to do along with that is like in beta we have activity levels, or we're going to have that. So like we want it to be like, okay, if you give enough upvotes, whether blue ups using our token BLUX or the regular soul ups on a piece of music, the artist can have it set up that they automatically like mint you an NFT or something as like a thank you. You know what I mean? So as well as what you're talking about, we can also use the in-app metrics to like reward people. And that helps the artist too, because, you know, you're going to get to the top of the map and you're going to be relevant and things like that. So, yeah, I'd love to show you some more of the tech stuff. Can I go ahead and share my screen real quick?
Yeah. No.
All right.
We have to remember to do gratitudes too, Corey. You know, we haven't done them yet, and you know we're really excited when we forget to do them. It happens a lot. Is that
all
Spain?
Right.
That is Spain.
Yeah, this is Spain. So,
nice.
Man, it's loading really slow. I was just like messing with a bunch of code. So I think there's a bug in this. This is not like the live version. This is what we're bringing up next. So yeah, we have a temporal display, and this is the time machine. And we generate like, these are Gregorian chart things. So you can go ahead and click like any time period and see like just the music that was given upvotes during that time period. So this is not when it was posted. This is when it has received ups, right? And we also have like this select time span that you can pick exactly the start and end date that you want to look at. So you can see the last 5 minutes, or you can just click here too, but you can see the last 5 minutes, the last, you know, any dexterity, 45 minutes, 125 minutes or whatever, to see like whatever's popping off at any given time. Let me see if this will load. Yeah, it's going like super slow. This should log you in with Wax, and then it has a cool display. But anyway, and then yeah, we have these. Oh man, it's going so slow. I'm pretty sure like the bug I just fixed on the live version, I didn't fix in the localhost version. So, but yeah, we do have a a locational search as well. So you can go to Brazil, and then, so yeah, like it'll zoom in and it'll show you just the music in Brazil. And then that's automatically linked to the top charts. So whenever you pull up the top charts, it'll show you this is the exact time units that you're looking at. And then you can see just the top charts for Brazil, right? And then these are replicated on any of our geographic database. We actually use our own geographic database. I'm not using. Okay, sorry, my stepdad needs something. Okay, so yeah, any of these in our database will make a chart. Now, how this is working is we have shape files in our database. So whenever you post music, we query the shape files and then get information and store that information in a table so that it's more efficient for us to later query it, right? So the reason I'm saying that is we're not using any sort of external APIs. We're not using, anybody else. Everything is built in our database, so it's super efficient, as well as we don't have to like pay any other services to make this happen.
It's digital asset. How about top charts of NFT sales? It's funny that you were thinking that, because I was just thinking, if I say what I'm thinking, Corey's probably going to fire me. But what I was thinking was like, what if we had like the ability to track how many people went to a venue, because of this map, and then what if we took that and you put that on an Uplift map, and you could see where everyone was going and how much time they were spending there. I mean, yeah, I agree. There's just so much that could be done. Like I like the idea about. I do want to ask this though, because I'm not sure. I think this would probably be really difficult, just being the way that Atomic is set up. But like you could just connect claim links and free secure drops to the map. I mean, you could do that, but you would have to do that for every single one individually, would you not?
We could definitely do that. That's like, it's all possible, right? And I think that once we open up the artist profiles, there's going to be a lot more options for things like that. Because right now, like, okay, you have a claim link, but do you really want that to post that forever on the map? But if we have artist profiles and we give you a little box at the end of every single piece of music that you post, then you can just like sneak in a claim link on your music on the map, and maybe even like don't tell anybody, or just tell, select people like, hey, go look on this map, and there's something hidden there for you, right? So then once you post a claim link, it'll show up on all of your music, and then like you don't have to do anything else, and then you can just go ahead and change it quickly and remove it from all that whenever you go forward.
I just got to throw this up because this is a good one. Hey Corey, what is it? Where we hide the alpha.com?
Yeah, where we hide the alpha, where we hide all the alpha, where we hide all the alpha.com.
That might lead you somewhere fun, right?
I love the infinite regressions.
Yeah, I can't stop sharing my screen. I don't see a button for it.
I can do that for you.
I can share.
Did you want me to stop you sharing?
I can show you the code too. Well, I mean, like, I'm here to talk about tech, so like I'll show you guys some code if you want to see. Like, yeah, I mean, I'm not showing you anything security compromising, but
I thought you were asking to stop share the screen. Sorry, I didn't realize that.
All right, well, I'll ask, but yeah. So like, this is in beta. This is how we do everything. We basically figure out what geographical information we need to query, and then we query the correct database. We get the shape files if we need them, and then in the future we can use the same system to add any nation. But right now we just have United States up here. So yeah, like this is the file that takes takes all the dots from the database and puts them on the map. This is what like generates the map. We're using leaflet.js. using, big shout outs to Stamen Design. They're the ones that do our map tiles, and they make it free for like pretty much anybody to use as long as you give them attribution, and we do. So yeah, that's super cool. Our backend's based on, we're doing PHP. So we have just like I literally built this site opening up a blank page right here, and then like including, these are all the files that we use to make things happen, the JavaScript files and so forth. Our backend is in PHP. Everything is written in PHP, except for we're going forward and using Node.js more. Let me see. I can't open everything here, but like, so this is like this is the old version of our ups. So like back when it was in 2.0, and then we're transitioning that to be completely on chain, because we first built this system, like it's working on Web 2.0 tech. So like right now we're transitioning to make it work in Web 3.0. So yeah, like this is what adds the music to the database. We get the information, we sanitize it to make sure nobody's trying to hack us. And then we put it in our table, and yeah, like this is the guts of it. It's just like a bunch of artisanal code that I've written over years to make this happen, right? So yeah, this is our back end. And then we also have our other folder, or our other or the rest of our functionality is built in Node.js, like our Everstone NFTs, which if you buy an Everstone NFT, you get free BLUX every single day. And in the future, in beta, there's going to be the opportunity to use your Everstone NFT to up music automatically. So if you were sort of critically thinking when I was talking about, okay, you can only see time spans when this music has gotten upped. Well, most of the music isn't going to show up because most of the music isn't getting continual ups. So what we can do is send your music blue ups every single day using an Everstone. That way you don't have to go and manually up, and the music will still stay up on the charts. So yeah, like this. So we're using Node.js in the future going forward. Like this is our Everstone payment script. Like, so we're using the Simple Assets API, or the EOS.js. I've written a custom, like, it's like a transaction scheduler. So I basically just push these objects representing a transaction into a array, and then I use these custom functions that I've written in another file to execute transactions based upon this, this simple thing that we have set up. And then we also have like various handlers, so that if a transaction doesn't go through, well, first of all, if we're doing a batch transaction and it doesn't go through, we're going to try to send it as a singular transaction. And if that doesn't go through, we can error handle that as well and make sure that, people get paid in the future.
Speaking of getting paid, how do you get paid? So is there a fee to use this platform? Are the NFTs that are coming out, are they going to, source this money? Like, I want to know about this because I think it's important. Corey always brings this up. There's a lot of amazing people that do free stuff in this space. And I want to know if this is free, and B, how you're going to get paid, because you totally deserve it.
Sure. Yeah. You can go ahead and cancel sharing my screen so I can hop in, see your beautiful faces without making the infinite loop. All right. So yeah, how are we getting paid? So first of all, this is an absolutely free service. It always will be free. And not only that, it will pay you. So luckily with tokenomics, we can make that happen. But just to reassure you, I am never, ever, ever going to make people pay for this. With the one exception that I realized in beta, once we make this happen, if I were to do my original plan, which was just open it up to everybody with a Wax account, it would just get hit by bots so hard. So we're probably going to make some very small barrier, like having 1 purple or something like that, which is like 6 Wax in the account, in order to post. So our economic system is based on 3 tokens, right? We have Sol, which is a simple assets fungible. We have BLUX, which is an EOSIO token, and we have Purple, which is an EOSIO token. Sol is controlled by our smart contract. In beta, you'll receive a NFT called a solar disk, which you'll have to claim, and that's where this short barrier to entry will be. Like we might sell it for 1 Wax or 1 purple or whatever, but you're going to have that NFT to interact with the system. Once you have that NFT, we can send you Sol, and if we send you Sol, you would still be able to send it to other people, but that's not written in the system. We want you to only be able to use your Sol. So what we do is we can control the attaching it to the NFT. So we send you Sol, and then we attach it to your NFT, your solar disk. Now, you cannot unattach your Sol from your solar disk, so you can't trade your Sol. But we can, as the contract author, we can detach your Sol, and then we can also transfer your Sol to our contract. And then when that happens, when we send that Sol, then we mint a BLUX, and we either send it to who's it's owed to, if we have that information. And if we don't know who's it's owed to yet, we just store a database entry. And then as soon as you link that information, we're going to go ahead and pay you. Right? So back to how are we getting paid? We're getting paid because we're selling this token Purple. And Purple is what you need to get a Everstone NFT, as well as to evolve your Everstone NFT to get more daily BLUX ups. Right? Purple is also a reward token. So we reward the daily top charts with 288 Purple every single day. And at the current rate of Purple, which is like, I think almost like $4, that's like more than $1,000 in USD equivalent that we'll be giving out every single day to musicians on the charts.
Booyah.
So I'm assuming that all of these tokenomics can be read about in the link that we posted down below to your site. You also have your link tree down below, which has all the other affiliate sites on there as well, which people can check up and read up upon. Yeah, I'm going to have to go back and listen to that back. A, it was complicated. B, I was on the same page as Digital Acid thinking like, I don't want to sell my soul.
At least not for cheap.
Right.
You can't sell Sol. That's the funny thing. It's like you cannot sell Sol. Like you can't transfer Sol. You can't sell Sol. It's completely controlled by us. We control your Sol.
Right.
And you need a solar disk.
This is what's freaking me out.
It's like
you're totally controlling my Sol already, and I haven't even signed up yet. I mean, no, it's good. Very cool. And sorry, Daniel Day had a question. Where do I get the Purple? Do I have any with my Everstone level 9?
Yes, your Everstone level 9 has 64 Purple already staked to it. Every single Everstone already has Purple staked to it using the simple backed contract. And if you want to check that, you can go to simple backed, then you go to the tables or contract, then tables, and then you type in your Everstone ID in both the lower bound, upper bound, and you can verify that your Purple is staked to that NFT. And to get that Purple back, you have to burn the NFT. So you do own the Purple, you can get it back, but you're sort of not incentivized to burn your Purple because it does cost more money to buy an Everstone NFT than it does cost to buy just the Purple. So you have that little security in case Purple shoots through the roof and you're like, oh, I want to get out, but I have 64 Purple staked to this Everstone. You can still get out. But yeah, like if you have an Everstone, you already are a proud owner of Purple.
So just to go back as well, I need to ask this question. Purple is only the token that's used for those who are putting music up on the platform, not the listeners, right?
I'm sorry, you cut out there. Used for those who are what?
Sorry, the purple is the token that's used for people putting their music on the platform. It's used for the musicians, right?
It's paid to the top charting musicians. So
okay.
if you get one soul up on the map, no matter how popular you are, you'll get one BLUX, right? It's a 1-to-1 relationship between soul up and BLUX. But only the top charts get purple. So you have to do something cool, make a splash in order to earn some of this purple. And we're going to reward purple to the top 64.
So it has there's no affiliation with the people who are just listening, the non-music producers, the non-music people. Is there any reason for them to have purple or any of these other tokens?
Definitely for Everstones. I mean, we may have more use cases for purple in the future, but having an Everstone is huge. And especially with BLUX being something that there's no like initial supply of BLUX, like it started at 0. We printed we're at 4.2 out of 5.5 million in our promotional budget. But after that, like everything is strictly what from our in-app mechanics as well as from Everstones. So whenever people want to buy popularity on the map, they're going to buy BLUX, right? So BLUX is probably going to go through these cycles where, hey, you know, a bunch of people want to be popular. They're going to sort of fight for this limited BLUX supply. And if you have an Everstone, you have the option to get BLUX every day. So that gives you, an economic, means to say either, hey, I have some BLUX, I'm going to sell it, or I can use this BLUX to blow up this artist, right? Because if you're getting Everstone level 9, you're getting 432 BLUX per day. You can let that stack for 10 days. You have 4,300, BLUX. That's a lot. Like if you send all that BLUX in one time unit, because we are measuring it by time unit, it's almost guaranteed that for that 5-minute period, you could make any music on the map, even if we have 10,000, 100,000 active users, you could send them a spike to the top of the chart for that 5-minute time period. And maybe even for an hour, maybe even for a whole day, depending on, who else is voting. But from a listener's perspective, that's cool. Like you can build up this power and just be like, all right, I want you to be on top of the charts. Send it, right? And
it's
also
really
you can do
interesting. I mean, what happens when somebody goes to the top of the charts? I mean, in time, once the platform is established, then you would think that potentially the value of those NFTs might go up as well. I mean, there's some really interesting dynamics that could potentially be at play here. I don't want to speculate too much on it, but yeah, I'm having a little bit of trouble wrapping my head around it, but I think I got the general basics of it. But it's a really detailed, three I guess token economy in a way. It's not really a token, I'm not sure if they're all tokens, but yeah. My personal question was Daniel Day mentioned the level 9. What was it? Everstone level 9. I'm curious about the levels. So are these levels, pay scaled where you purchase them, or are they upgradable? Are they blendable? Like, what do different levels entail, and how do you move up? Is it participatory? If you just maybe want to touch on that a little bit.
Sure. So if anybody wants to read along, if you go to our link tree, it's like linktree/cXc.world, all lowercase. We have a documentation on GitHub that tells you everything, as well as our purple explainer, which explains the tokenomics, as well as a little bit of our spiritual aspect behind it there. So with Everstone levels, you start out with a level 1 Everstone that has 1 purple staked, and then as you stake more purple by sending purple to the simple backed contract with the ID of your Everstone. Again, there's documentation. You'll grow up these set levels. So each level has a set amount of purple, which is the minimum purple stake to get to that level. So level 1 is 1, level 2 is 2, level 3 is 3, level 4 is I think 5, level 6 it goes up from there. Like level 7 is 16, level 8 is 32 purple, and then level 9 is 64 purple. Now, alongside of that, you have a increase in efficiency. So if you have a level 1 Everstone, you're only getting 1 BLUX per day. So that's like 100% efficiency. And if you have a level 9 Everstone, you're getting 432 BLUX, which is 6.75 or 675% efficiency. So as you stake more, you get rewarded by getting a better return on your BLUX. And then whenever sure. I was just gonna say, like, whenever you stake it, we automatically right before we send out the payments, we check the contract and see if you did stake anymore. And if you did, we update the metadata of the NFT, and we change the title to say the new level. We change, the information on the NFT to tell you you're at that new level, as well as every time you get a payment, you get a memo which tells you your level, how much purple you need to get to the next level, and the total amount of BLUX that you've earned over your lifetime with that NFT. So that's kind of a cool, like, little way to keep track of how much BLUX you've been paid with the Everstone.
Cool. One more question from the comments just before Corey puts up the grad seats. Matt D was saying he was able to log in before, but right now he's asking, where did the login go on CXC?
We do not have login. Login is not live. It's coming in beta. We did have login before with Hive, but we have removed our Hive login and also the Hive posting feature, mainly just to keep things less complicated, because onboarding people onto 2 blockchains is not going to work, right? So there was a login feature a while ago. We did get rid of it. In beta day 1, you're going to be able to log in with Wax, but that past login system is no longer working.
Right, it's hard enough to get people to log in on 1 blockchain. Never mind 2.
Right. So yeah, I'm grateful for you, Jimmy. Just like the fact that this show just works all the time, is a godsend, and it's all you that's doing it. You're freaking awesome. And Douglas, thanks for coming on, man. Like. Yeah, I feel fucking stupid, and I really, really like being the dumbest guy in the room. Not everyone knows that, but it's totally true. I'm excited for everything that you're going to build in this space and that you have already built. I think it's moving in some really interesting directions. And I'm also grateful for digital asset this morning. I had to walk through some early morning coffee, ruminations, calculations, postulations. And he was available at the Ask Crackathon to chat with me. So yeah, it was good. So Douglas, what are you grateful for this morning?
Oh man, well, first of all, I want to say thanks for having me on, and thank you to you, Corey, for putting some fire under my ass about the NFT stuff. So it's up now, and everybody who's watching can give you a thank you too. For being a part of making that happen, because it needed to happen. And sometimes in my head, I'm like, I want things to be perfect, but also it's like, you just need to do it. You're like, that's the biggest thing. So man,
just look at everything any of my teams have ever built. Grab the duct tape, build a parachute on the way down.
Technology, and I'm grateful that we can talk. I'm grateful to be able to connect and to be able to share energy with so many beings on this planet, anywhere we are, with such little friction in this amazing age. And also for every living being, every piece of life here on this planet, and to be here right now with you guys.
Awesome. I edited somewhat so that it would fit on this tiny ass sign. Jimmy.
Nice.
I'm grateful for Douglas Butner putting the tech back in Tuesday. Like, you came in, we had this idea for a show called Tech Talk on a Tuesday, and sometimes it's a little bit technical, but this might be like up there in the top 3 most technical of all time. So thank you for that, man. Like, that's
legit.
Sure. If you want to have me on again, like, I wrote a Web 4 manifesto, It's on my GitHub, where I expand upon these ideas of geotemporality to sort of examine what happens when we organize as humans. And, you know, if you can imagine cXc, but instead of the music, you're voting on solutions for your community. That's sort of the vision I'm moving towards, as well as I'll be unveiling the first Web4 project in the near future. And that's going to be something that it's going to be years down the road, but we're going to have certain milestones every year where people can get involved and vote on how this first Web4 system comes into play. So I'd love to come on again and get techie with you.
Yeah. Can we repost that article on
sure
where we hide all the alpha.com?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, the Web4 manifesto, you mean?
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. It's on my GitHub.
That sounds like high level long-term alpha to me.
I have no idea what website you're talking about, but I'm going to check it out.
No, it's honestly, it's just the Uplift blog that I now call where we hide all the alpha.com because I think I'm funny. That's really
okay.
But yeah, if you don't mind, like we can talk about it after, but if you don't mind, we could put it up there and we'll put links back to like all your source sites and everything. It would be awesome. So on the idea of coming back, I mean, we do a show every day. And you know, sometimes we even rebrand a show, a non-technical show on a Tuesday, but you have, I think, the sign up link for Tuesday. So like, feel free to book yourself in whenever's open. Like, of course we want you to come back, but like, just, you know, if you got an announcement or you just want to chill or you just want to talk about anything, there's no need to fill out all the forms again, but like, just tell us what you want to talk about and I'll, you know, schedule you in and send you the links, and like, you're welcome to come back anytime, man, because I think this is great.
Thank you.
Like, if it needs to be another day, hit me up and I'll figure that out as well. But yeah, like, definitely, as most of our guests, like, you guys are always welcome, and we just love having you here because, you know, this is basically where Corey and I learn all the shit that we need to know, you know, for life in the future, especially in the blockchain and crypto space, right? Like, it's projects like you guys that, like, you know, come here and teach us about, you know, what good that they're doing for the world and for the space, and what ingenuity that they're bringing to the table, and as well, you know, give us ideas, and this feedback loop, I think, in the crypto space is really amazing and wonderful, right? Like, you were telling the story about like your high school, and I made a joke about it, but like, you know, I got that, you know, idea in my head that like, it's not that easy to be a smart rebel when you're in high school, right? It's not that easy to be smart. It's not that easy to be a rebel, but or you know, a burnout. But like, when you put those three things together, that must be really difficult, because those are where all the good ideas come from. But in this space, in this crypto space, there's a lot of people who are in the same boat, right? A lot of people who, you know, the rest of society are looking at, and they're just like, you must be absolutely insane. I mean, we've heard Corey talk about this story, you know, before, like 100 times. He's talked about like how he went to people who are actually smart, who are actually in the space with this idea of the uplift, and they looked at him and they're like, oh, what do you, that's not going to work, right? And like, living proof right now that it does, and I'm sure it must have happened to you as well. So like, connecting people in this space with those brilliant ideas, you know, putting you and Corey, for example, on a call for even 10 minutes, where you can level up to the next level, or we can implement something that you're bringing to the table. I mean, that's definitely what we want to do. So yeah, this is the second time you've joined us. You know, the first time was a little bit different, but like, yeah, this show, a roundtable, anytime, man. Like I just think what you're doing is really amazing. I'm kind of, you know, pretty blown away by the implications of the future of what you're building, actually.
Yeah, man. And you guys are doing such amazing stuff too. And like, the cool thing is, we're all doing amazing stuff in our own like little way. And like, yeah, the more we can share ideas, the more each one of these little tendrils into possibility starts to expand. So yeah, let's open source ideas.
Of course you were. Of course you were. I'm not surprising at all. Like, I actually, you know, I'm in my day job now. I'm a professor. I'm a teacher. Like, you know, I failed classes in high school, right? Like, I hated school, which is part of the reason that, you know, I went to school to become what I do now. But yeah, the administration makes things difficult. But yeah, the geniuses in the world, right? Like the people who are building all of the shit that you use, you know, tell your parents those aren't the ones that stayed in school. A lot of times they weren't, right? Which is pretty crazy if you think about it, you know.
Yeah, I went to college too. Like I graduated with honors and everything. So I wasn't just the burnout that, you know, that dropped off the face of the earth. I got my act together. But yeah, like we have so many tools to create. And like, honestly, like I was sort of like apprehensive at the beginning to just, or like, I guess of being a public figure representing my project, to just like be like, yeah, dude, I smoke weed. Like I did ayahuasca in the jungle, like, because it's not what you hear from tech founders. But it's nowadays it's what you're building, like what you actually have, your product, what you can create. That's what's important. And the more you're honest about your story, the more people resonate with it. So like, I'm here to be myself. I'm here to show my ideas, to share my ideas, so that if I die, or when I die, that my ideas can have a life of their own, and people can take the concepts from the Web4 manifesto or from anything that I do and build on them and create more things.
I mean, it's interesting too, because like we're so weird about it, right? Like, oh yeah, man, that band's awesome. Those musicians are brilliant. Yeah, I mean, it's probably because they're doing so many drugs. Like they're awesome, right? But you can say that, and you can be respected as a musician, as an artist, but you can't be respected as like, you know, a tech guru.
Well, yeah, I'm not sure that's true anymore. Like,
I know, not anymore, obviously, but it was, right? Like that.
Right, like the microdosing culture in Silicon Valley is like fairly well renowned now.
Yeah.
And microdosing tends to come from macrodosing.
Yeah.
For being honest.
Yeah. But like, it's interesting, like you said, that like people are starting to resonate with this, you know, creation as it exists, as opposed to the person or the company or the corporation who created it, right? Like, I think that's, yeah. Where the hell are you, by the way?
This is Sue Gentry's
okay, I knew I saw it before, but nice. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. This is like, when I tell the story all the time about, I don't know what this is, but it's pretty fucking funny.
I think that might be for the launch pad for the like aerial thing or something.
Yeah, Sue and her daughter started connecting in our server long before it was the Uplift, and neither one of them had really played. Maybe her daughter played some Minecraft, but she never had. And they built this together during the pandemic. They just hung out every day, and it's watching how profoundly that affected them that made me start yelling at everyone that we needed to build this out for people. And ultimately, I think it's the core proposition of why I'm so fervently for the term metaverse actually having a place where you can connect with people, right? And I know that there's a lot of sort of layers or levels of interpretation where you can say, okay, well, you know, you can connect with people on alien worlds. Yeah, okay, sure. Sort of, right? But it's not the same as actually being in a place and encoding this. Like, this will be here forever, right? Like, what they've done is not going anywhere. And I really love that.
Yeah. It's beautiful, man.
Cool.
So is this on the Genesis?
This is Old World
map, or which one?
Yeah, this is Old World. So if you go south from the new spawn hub, you get here basically along this little railroad piece over here.
Do you guys have a build in here, Douglas? Anywhere in the Uplift?
To be honest, completely honest, I've never even played Minecraft in my entire life, other than like if somebody else is playing it and I hit the little axe thing. So yeah, I haven't jumped into it. Like, unfortunately, being so involved in this project in so many different hats, I don't get much time to play like all the other games. You know, I try to check them out as much as I can, but like I'm not playing Alien Worlds and stuff like that. If I wasn't doing this, I would, but like I just don't have time. You know, like I really don't. So
well, if you have a community member or like someone on your team that wants to give it a go for the hand, like one of the things that we do have a community plot with some surrounding little plots for the Yoshi Drops team, and I'd love to like see a cXc build in that like kind of little area. So if you're interested, reach out and we'll see what we can do. Like maybe we can. Even gift you guys a plot.
All right, and I can
from the Yoshi Drops treasury if you want to build something cool like in support of cXc on there. It'd be cool to have you next door as a neighbor, I think.
Heck yeah.
Well, thank you for that offer. I can reach out to the community and see if there's somebody who would be down to build that. We can make that happen.
Be really cool.
Cool beans. Yeah, I like it. I like it a lot.
Yeah, so is there anything else that you want to say before we close out this one? And of course, this one I'm going to put a stress on that because you mentioned it, and so now if you're not back in like next month, in a month, I'm going to be harassing you. What's happening? What are you building now? What's going on? But yeah,
sure. Yeah.
Okay, I'll build on it for you. Okay, that's great. Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Thank you, whoever said that. But yeah, I'll just get in a little last general plug. So all of our links are at Linktree. It should be down there, linktree/cxc.world. We have a music NFT collection at drops.cxc.world. Also, if you're on the map, you can click NFTs at the bottom. It'll take you there. All of our NFT go directly to the artist. We have a 4% collection fee, which is just to cover RAM. So we are all about helping the artists. And if you hear any music there, go ahead and buy it. And it is supporting the artist. But yeah, everything else you could want to know about the project is in that Linktree link. So dive into the tech stuff. And if you have any questions, I love talking about this. So don't be afraid to send me a message on Telegram. I'm at God's Soul is Love. As well as we have our Telegram group, which you can find from the Linktree.
Sweet.
So yeah, and thank you guys. Thank you, Corey. Thank you, Jimmy, for having me on. It's been fun, and I'm sure I'll see you guys around.
Yeah, it's been awesome, and thanks for coming. Just on our end, just want to shout out the estate sale closed out. It was fairly successful from our point of view. If you head on over to Nefty, BLUX and you search drops, though there are some random 50 by 50s that are still left going out in gratitude in the general area of the estate sales. They're randomized. Is there anything else you want to say about that, Corey?
Sorry, could you repeat that?
Yeah, so the second part of the estate sale, it's still happening very soon, though. It's only whitelist only, but very soon.
No, it's not. It's open to everyone.
Oh, it did. Sorry. I thought we were doing 24 hours.
It's open to everyone now.
Whitelist. Okay. My timing may be off then. Sorry.
We were going to wait 24 hours. I think they had like we opened it up relatively early.
Cool. I didn't know that. And so one other thing I want to say too, I think I have this right, so correct me if I'm wrong, but last I checked, this seems to be an issue, and I think all of you know it, but if you're here and you don't know it, just pay attention. Read the stuff, because like the cheap packs and the little bit more expensive packs, they've got the same, everything in them is the same chances for everything is the same, right? Like the same chances for bonus land, everything across the board is the same. So like, buy the cheap ones first, not the expensive ones. That's the same with the Blue Dock memberships. It's the same with these pack drops. We're gonna have to figure out a way maybe to make this a little bit more clear. Like I know you're a little bit more do your own research than I am, Corey, but like I just want you guys to like pay attention, because like I think that this might be more of a Nefty BLUX thing, and there isn't, that I am aware of, ways to release it when one is done that is easy for us to do either, but like buy the cheap ones, not the expensive ones. That's what I want to say. But yeah, thanks, Douglas. Corey, probably, I don't know, he's calling them right now. He's like, did you start it out? Did you tell them? Did you tell them to fix that, Corey?
Sorry, I missed that. I had
No, it's totally okay.
What did we
We'll
fix?
see you guys
right.
tomorrow. Tomorrow is Wednesday, and we'll be back for Media Mobile. So thanks all for joining us, and yeah, you guys go listen to some kick-ass music like on CXC or wherever you listen to music.
Yeah.
Tell those
Enjoy.
artists to,
And final plug, I forgot, BLUX is coming to Blue Deck. So next round.
Yeah. That's happening. And a little heavy because it's supposed to be this month, so we're adding a little bit of fuel for the shit kicking hell of it.
A little extra.
Booyah, choppy chop, Jimmy.
Yeah.
Bam.